EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf.
Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Well, how about this start? Birdie to open the round.
Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green. It has 2 tiers. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Second shot, good look at the green.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
One more birdie, and now tied for the lead.
Back over now to the fourth. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, we have already seen some excellent play. Frank, what are some of the keys to keeping this early momentum?
Basically just trying to do the same things. We're seeing good driving, good approach play, and very good speed on the green right now. Keep doing the same thing.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350 plus yards.
Second shot.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Oh, dude, that eagle moves into a tie for first.
Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Frank, it's all about the difficult rough off the right-hand side of the green here at the hole they call the slopes.
Yeah, 600 plus yards par 5, so really you don't want to be flirting with that right side.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Ball's teed up, ready to fly here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a slight elevated tee, so you see all the problems in front of you. A couple of bunkers down the left, 2 down the right, but it's links golf, so you know where you've got to go. That's in between them.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Getting set now over the putt. Continuing to play outstanding golf, 9 under par for the tournament with the birdie. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. Good swing, good shot yet again. How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
These putts keep the round together. Always like to get the double figures under par. 10 under already. Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's a dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. 1 bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that. But it's not that you're trying to carry it. It's you're trying to cut the ball off that. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards.
Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. That will be a great look at birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, this 11th hole can be a real bear. Even the Golden Bear knows that.
Yeah, just to remind him, in his rookie year in 1962, he made a whopping 11. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard Jack Nicklaus made double figures on one hole.
And so maybe a bogey 5 or even a double bogey 6. Not so bad. Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here. Knocking down all the shots today, now at 13 under. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is course right and left.
That's a good drive right there. Got all of it.
Did you hear the sound?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is another laser right at the flagstick. This is an 11-foot putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really you've got to hit the balls down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Solid play, heart of the green.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
That is a solid par putt right there. Frank, what kind of par 3 is the 14th here?
You can get sucked in here, just 180 yards, which isn't considered that long. But if you look too much at the front of the green, you're going to see that's where the protection is.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, that looked good to me.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
14 under on the day. Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. After that tee shot, this now from 140 yards. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Count that for eagle. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
Good looking shot right here. He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away in a good spot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole in the lead. Frank is very much intact. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Good putt. Well, Frank, round 1 in the books. Look who's on top of the leaderboard.
And that's with some strong play today. They don't really need to look back. Strong play heading into the second round tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878 in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. He'll need to be strong with this.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
That is an absolute seed. I mean, he just ripped a bullet down the fairway. Oh my goodness, 375 yards. A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Looks like he just misread that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Hole number 4, Frank. Can you cut the corner on the tee shot on this dogleg right par 5?
Well, Rich, you have to guarantee you can carry the ball at least 280 yards. That bunker that protects that side is the big problem if you go down the right.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, a good chance to attack the flag. Superb position, right in the fairway, and 200 yards to the flagstick. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
This is an awkward length.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole. A little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of this green.
That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. What a good hole. They call it the slopes, and the rough off the right-hand side of the green, really some of the most punishing on the entire course.
And the one thing you don't want to do is actually leave it up there on that high side, because it means that you'll be chipping downhill.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and there's a good chance to make another one today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Ball's teed up, ready to fly here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a slight elevated tee, so you see all the problems in front of you. A couple of bunkers down the left, 2 down the right. That's links golf, so you know where you got to go. That's in between them.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Getting set now over the putt.
continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Birdie try again here today. And that's a birdie. Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about 150 US dollars. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal, so you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
I like the looks of this one. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. He's made it. Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Beautifully done. That's a birdie. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
Yeah, hole that bends to the right, gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, break down the par 4 13th for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Heading for home now, Frank. The par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
This one's looking good. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. He's made it. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
And that is a monster hit right there. He carried that more than 350 yards. Good-looking shot right here. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And getting ready for the putt. And he has it for birdie. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it on the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit. 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchia, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchia and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just one hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Calcavecchia was crowned the Open champion.
Yeah, the Great White Shark, so often so unlucky at major championships.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Score that, a birdie. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland, at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. We're off and running here, and let's take you down to the action at hole number 1. Warm-ups are done, first 2 rounds in the book, and Frank, this is where careers are made, on the weekends at these kinds of championships.
This is also what you hope for, too, in professional golf. You know you've got your good stuff. We've seen that through the first 2 days. Put yourself in a great position. Just 36 holes to go. You're looking at that first hole and what the weekend might unfold. That's the beauty of this game.
Oh my goodness, that is on in 1. Wow, what an incredible shot. Getting set now over the putt.
Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. And a great start.
Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Shouldn't be a problem here. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. This from 7 feet. Count it, it's an eagle. Rich Lerner back with you here at the 4th hole at Royal Troon. And this is a hole, Frank, that offers up a real scoring opportunity at par 5, first one of the round.
Yeah, it's the last really easy hole you get at this opening start. 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. But you can easily carry that one on the right, especially with any helping breeze.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. This one has a chance to be close. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Good putt. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That's how you play the game. Right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. He has this for a birdie. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 sixth hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350-plus yards. Second from an excellent lie. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. Sinks the putt for birdie. Frank, we're moving inland now to the 7th hole. It's a 405-yard par 4. What's ahead?
Little dogleg to the right, a couple of bunkers right on the corner of it. So once again, check the breeze and somehow find that fairway.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up, it's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, here we are, all of 123 yards. It's a famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Has it. Good putt right there. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Oh, he loves that one. You can see it. This one is high, it is deep, and it is gone. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What does he have all the luck?
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Front 9 is in the rearview mirror here at Royal Troon. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Navalu, who played Royal Troon in the Open Championship twice. This back 9 getting underway, and we start with the 10th hole, and Frank, a blind tee shot.
Yeah, from the championship tees, the hole bends to the left. Really, you don't want to hit the ball more than 280, 290 yards. Otherwise, you'll run out of fairway. From there, just a short iron. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that hole location. Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Frank, they call the 11th hole here at Royal Troon Railway. Maybe I'm being negative, but I think it should be called Gorse because that's all I can see on this opening shot.
Gorse certainly comes into play, right and left. The problem isn't bunkers here. 490 yards. Often it plays back into the breeze. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
And they make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
The incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just a tap in to finish the hole.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Rich, I once asked Tom Weiskopf, I was really young, I said, who's the greatest putter you've ever seen? And I thought the answer was going to be Ben Crenshaw, Billy Casper, even my fellow countryman Bob Charles. And he sort of shook it off and he said, that's the easiest questions anyone's ever asked me. It's Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus was this great player. Hit the ball far and high and all that. I said, well, why would you say he's a great putter? He said, well, when you hit a shot to 30 feet on just about every hole, and you never look at a makeable putt. But the first one you get, the first 10-footer, you just bury it straight in the middle of the hole. He said, that's a great putter. He said, when you watch Nicklaus's career over the years, time and time again, he wouldn't have a makeable putt. Take two putts. But when he had one, the first one he looked at, he knocked it in. And he said, that is what a great putter does.
He made them when it mattered. 18 times to win major championships. It mattered for Jack. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
We knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect. Right down the middle of the fairway. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on the easy birdie.
Birdie here yesterday, and to do it again today. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the car. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway. safely on deck.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Just a little tap in here. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot. Surely not.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. There's a putt for eagle. Right in the heart. 17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
Second shot. Great too.
Beautiful. Frank, you've played in and contended at so many major championships. It's not a major if the finishing hole doesn't present a real challenge. What do you think of Royal Troon's finishing hole?
Well, it's not just the 18th hole, Rich, too. It's 16, 17, and 18 because the prevailing breeze, especially at the Open Championship time of the year, which is the second week in July, is normally back into it. So you look at that 464 yards, that's well bunkered off the tee, 3 on the left, 1 on the right, into a puffer breeze, and you got yourself a great finishing hole.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Continuing to putt with confidence. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the Squire, he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts.
A great start.
And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391-yard second.
It's not overly long. The biggest priority for the players is just avoiding the bunkers, all 11 of them, whether it be with your tee shot or the second hole. But at that modest length, it is very much a birdie hole.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's 2 bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the burn. That's about 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that. It's just going to leave you a short iron out. Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
He's made it. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers. Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
And now the second shot here at this par 5.
This one looks right on point.
That is one of the shots of the day right there, and he will have a really good look at eagle. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good putt. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right. It's gone.
In the hole. You do not see that every day. That, folks, is a hole-in-one. Wow.
Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 6th hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350-plus yards. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back-to-back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right, ideally just a little cut off the tee. Oh, I like that. That's an absolute beauty.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Frank, the par 3 8th hole, it is one of the most famous little holes in all of golf.
123 yards postage stamp. Pick the wrong club, though, maybe a little too much, and it'll be a green that you'll more than airmail.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's a dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. 1 bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that. But it's not that you're trying to carry it. It's you're trying to cut the ball off that.
That's in the fairway. Setting up for an approach shot here. This has been a great performance so far, but Frank, a long ways to go. Do you ever worry about complacency?
Yeah, sometimes it just looks like it's too easy. At the moment, the putts are going in, the iron shots are going close enough, but some things, they don't happen by accident. He's got to still keep concentrating right now.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Front 9 is in the rearview mirror here at Royal Troon. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Navalu, who played Royal Troon in the Open Championship twice. This back 9 getting underway, and we start with the 10th hole, and Frank, a blind tee shot.
Yeah, from the championship tees, the hole bends to the left. Really, you don't want to hit the ball more than 280, 290 yards. Otherwise, you'll run out of fairway. From there, just a short iron.
this is looking really good. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Settles in over the putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, what happened to Jack Nicklaus here at the 11th hole back in 1962?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was actually looking at making 2 majors in a row. He just won the US Open. Came to the 10th hole, and, well, he made one more than 10. 11 to be precise. So you never know. If you make a 5 or a 6, that's not so bad when you consider what happened to Jack Nicklaus all the way back in 1962.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Mark a birdie on the card. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, break down the par 4 13 for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse.
That's a good drive right there. Got all of it.
Did you hear the sound?
Good scoring opportunity right here from 125 yards or so. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Just blasted that tee ball, Frank. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
makes the green in regulation. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. And that's a birdie. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it on the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today.
Just making a mockery of the field now. Another eagle.
Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green. This looks like it's going to find the target. Literally no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Finally, the 18th at Royal Troon. History, skill, nerves, bunkers, of course, and the clubhouse. Frank, they all come into play on this final hole.
Yeah, 3 bunkers down the left. It's not a case of hitting past those, it's avoiding them. And then if you avoid it too far to the right, there's one nicely placed about 300 yards off the tee that'll catch you there. So there's somehow you've got to craft a tee shot to miss all 4 of those bunkers.
Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
To win the Charity Invitational. And he has it for birdie. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
I tell you, there's long and long, and that
Wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. On the tee, ready to go.
In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. He has a birdie opportunity here. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Pittsburgh Invitational. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States. Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees are being removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say, we putt on these greens every single day, and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf. Well, that's the best that was going to be on the fringe.
Not too. Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron, others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club, but really the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
For the par. Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change from the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so pushes him back to second.
Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Good contact, good result. I love that rhythm and tempo right there.
Settling in now for the second shot here at this opening hole.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Even par early on. Settles in always with excellent posture over the ball.
That's an absolute beauty.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Frank, tie atop the leaderboard now.
I think it's certainly starting to get everybody captivated.
That was a nice birdie.
Third hole's a par 4. Again, it's 428 yards, but Frank, we look out to the left and we can see There's nothing quite like the third at Oakmont.
Well, the church pews certainly might look beautiful from our point of view, but they really shrink the hole down, or the landing area, because not only the pews on the left side, but a bunch of bunkers on the right. You see the tee shot plays a little downhill, but it funnels in so closely together that more often than not we'll see players hit long irons off the tee here.
Frank, how do you see this approach shot at the third?
Another stringent iron shot in front of us here, Rich. False front means anything landing too far short comes back off. Very hard to run the ball onto this green. When you get into the first half of the green, it's fine. It slopes back towards you. But once you get past that middle section, you've got to be careful that you don't fly that ball through the back of the green.
On the green, and a chance for birdie.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
That's a good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far. Second shot.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Locked in on the read and the speed. And rolls it in. Nice putt.
We're at the fifth hole now. Short hole, but Frank, pretty challenging even at 382 yards.
Yeah, you've got the bunkers are staggered. The first three coming down the left side, and then they start to link up with the ones on the right side that just sort of narrow this fairway up. It just sort of changes the strategy. But if you can just sort of thread an iron up there, that's the main thing. Because this green is going to be very narrow in the front and then slope away to the player's left.
Second shot on the fifth here at Oakmont.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
So the second of the par four goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Just a little tap in here. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under.
And now to the par 3 sixth here at Oakmont, measuring in at just under 200 yards.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with the rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah,
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's the opening round of the Northeast Invitational. Excellent looking shot here. Pretty good drive here.
another straight one.
Boy, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Now on the tee at the par 3 second, it's a long one. This will require a pure strike. This is a good-looking shot. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline. Yet another birdie and yet another tie at the top of the leaderboard.
Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, and now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with a good drive. Very thin fairway here, Rich. This hole is built for accuracy, and players off the tee, they're going to have to try and hit this fairway. Long fairway bunker runs almost the entire length of this hole, and it could act actually as a little helper, stop you going down by the cliff, because anything left, obviously, on that cliff line will go all the way down to the ocean.
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up.
Oh, dude, that eagle moves into a tie for first. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Frank, this is a very nice start to the round. Couple of birdies on the scorecard, looks extremely solid.
Yeah, it looks well poised actually to have a very good round today.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways. I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Oh, another one goes in.
Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep. So really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie.
Par 4 7th, only 370 yards. Frank, decision to be made off that tee.
It is. I walked this hole, Rich, to the narrowest point of the fairway. It's 278 yards, and if you want to carry that left side, you're going to have to be strong 300 yards. So really, I don't know if driver's the play. Maybe even 3-wood's too much. You might have to throttle back even further. So the hole might be short. You just might get a little bit of a longer second shot than what the scorecard would normally allow you.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Getting set now over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now another part. Good chance at one. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Now to the par 5 ninth. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult 3-shotter than what you were anticipating.
Frank, how impressive is this performance so far?
You've got to tip your hat. Really just played good from the first hole on. Rhythm's good. Hit a lot of good shots. Very smart decision making as well.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. I looked green for that.
Oh my gosh, that hurts.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I've got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count. And that is 9 under for the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Here we go. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Frank, the good players certainly aren't panicked when they're in a fairway bunker, are they?
Just make sure your feet stay nice and firm in the sand there. There's a tendency to move your feet around a little bit.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's at sneaky distance.
Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Moving on to the 12th hole now. Par 4, 439 yards. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward, because on an uphill shot there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the 2 fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10? This is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of a long, long walk.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Go ahead and do that for birdie.
Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. It's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you're going to be looking at, that front left section.
15 under for the day. The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good putt. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Has this to save par. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all. A cursory look at the scorecard, Rich, and well, it looks hard at 240 yards, but that elevation is going to chew off quite a bit of yardage off the scorecard. Really, it's a good chance for a birdie on this closing stretch. V-shaped green, as long as you're on the right section of the green, you could have a chance for birdie.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Well, this one's tracking.
Oh, what a bonus.
Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits, and you might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, this is right at it.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's full melody now.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round one.
Good place to be.